bloodied and battle-hardened from our defeat of the Iron Lords. My Hussites were knowing that our enemies would soon renew their efforts. We moved north to seize the golden city of Prague, jewel of Bohemia, straddling the Vltava River. Prague is not easily defended. We hold all of the city on the east riverbank, but enemy forces have overrun the sector across the river to the west. Emperor Sigismund, the man responsible for Hus's death, leads an army of crusaders into Bohemia, vowing to wipe out the so-called Hussite heresy. It is the ultimate irony for an oath. His forces seek to encircle the city and suffocate us within our walls. This cannot. These fanatical crusaders can keep Rome for all I care, but they will never claim our beloved Prague. Into the battle line. Sigismund and his crusaders converge on our golden city, but fear not. We shall drive them from our walls and from all of Bohemia.
Vašim službám. Co přikazuješ? Jak žádáš? Rozumím. Jak žádáš? Ano, bojujme. Rozumím.
Ano, ano, zajisté.
Co přikazuješ? Jak žádáš? Rozumím. K vašim službám.
We have recovered some supplies in this local storehouse. Return them to Prague to nourish our bold defenders. We have recovered some supplies in this local storehouse. Return them to Prague to nourish our bold defenders.
Jak žádáš. Rozumím. Do útoku.
We can count on supplies from the northeast for now. But Sigismund's mercenaries have blockaded all other roads to Prague. We should eliminate these fiends and allow resources to pour in from all directions. These are but meager rations, but every little bit helps. These are but meager rations, but every little bit helps.
Vašim službám.
Co po mně žádáte? Vykonám to. Ve jménu Hospodě.
Co přikazuješ? Jak žádáš. Ano, do útoku! Bojujme! Do útoku! Do zbraně!
A supply convoy is on its way, Jan Žижka. Protect it from our enemies. You have our thanks, Jan Žижka. Use these supplies to withstand the enemy onslaught.
Ano. Do útoku!
Jsem připravena. Stavím.
Nobles, knights, and crusaders! Tear down these walls and bring me the Hussites' heads!
Ano, službám. Bojujme!
Look, a rabble of peasants has taken a stand on Witkov Hill. Our first catch of the day, you can see.
Rozumím.
A supply convoy is on its way, Jan Žижka. Protect it from our enemies.
Jak žádáš. Rozumím. Ano. Jak žádáš. Do útoku! Přikazuješ. Do zbraně!
You have our thanks, Jan Žижka. Use these supplies to withstand the enemy onslaught.
Zdař Bůh. Ano, vykonám to.
Do zbraně! Vašim službám.
A supply convoy is on its way, Jan Žижka. Protect it from our enemies. You have our thanks, Jan Žижka. Use these supplies to withstand the enemy onslaught.
Ano, rozumím.
Another band of marauders is vanquished. Now this route is open for supply convoys.
We have sent reinforcements up the Voltava, but the Vishierod fortress looms over the river. Remove this obstacle so that we might join our forces.
We have recovered some supplies in this local storehouse. Return them to Prague to nourish our bold defenders.
Jak žádáš. Rozumím. Do útoku. Co příkaz bojujme. Vašim službám žádáš.
A supply convoy is on its way, Jan Žижka. Protect it from our enemies.
These are but meager rations, but every little bit helps.
You have our thanks, Jan Žижka. Use these supplies to withstand the enemy onslaught.
Vašim službám. Ano, rozumím. Do zbraně. Do útoku.
Now I have a trebuchet.
Another band of marauders is vanquished. Now this route is open for supply convoys.
Službám. Do zbraně.
Jsem připravena.
A supply convoy is on its way, Jan Žижka. Protect it from our enemies. You have our thanks, Jan Žижka. Use these supplies to withstand the enemy onslaught.
Vašim službám.
These crusaders came with a pope's blessing, but not that of the Lord. It is no wonder that they were no match for our virtuous Hussites.
Rozumím. Ano.
I have conquered more lands than most men have even heard of. I will not be stopped by a turbulent mob playing at war.
Ano. Ano, pane. Bojujme.
Jan Žижka moves against the Vishierod. Cuts his frenzied heretics down.
A supply convoy is on its way, Jan Žижka. Protect it from our enemies.
Do zbraně. Ano, pane. Rozumím. Jak žádáš. Do útoku. Rozumím.
You have our thanks, Jan Žижka. Use these supplies to withstand the enemy onslaught. Look! Žizka's chalice banner rises over the Vishierod. Sail up the river and reinforce our Hussite brothers.
Hussites have crossed the Charles Bridge and now assail the Kroczni. Help us, O Emperor Sigismund.
Another band of marauders is vanquished. Now this route is open for supply convoys.
If the leader is righteous, so too is the journey. Lead us to victory, Jan Žижka!
The lesser town is ours. Clean out the royalist stragglers and secure the western walls.
You may take the lesser town, but do you truly think that you can stand against the glorious armies of the Holy Roman Empire?
A supply convoy is on its way, Jan Žижka. Protect it from our enemies.
You once served great kings, Jan Žижka, but now you command heretics rebels? Oh, how the mighty do fall.
You have our thanks, Jan Zizka. Use these supplies to withstand the enemy onslaught.
Another band of marauders is vanquished. Now this route is open for supply convoys.
A supply convoy is on its way, Jan Zizka. Protect it from our enemies.
The royalist forces flee into the hills with reckless abandon. Where is their hubris now?
Rozumím. Do útoku.
You have our thanks, Jan Zizka. Use these supplies to withstand the enemy onslaught.
Ano, pane. Bojujme. Do zbraně. Bojujme. Jak žádáš. Rozumím. Do zbraně. Ano, pane. Jak žádáš.
Co žádáš? Ano.
Žádá, vykonám to. Ano.
Co přikazuješ? Do útoku.
A supply convoy is on its way, Jan Zizka. Protect it from our enemies. A supply convoy is on its way, Jan Zizka. Protect it from our enemies. You have our thanks, Jan Zizka. Use these supplies to withstand the enemy onslaught.
Even emperors can receive a good rubbing. Watch how that despicable craven takes to flight. A drawback of a comfortable, noble life, or even a life of crusading against disorganized heathens, is that you become unaccustomed to true adversity. As they faced our new, or even a life of crusading failing. A drawback of a comfortable, noble life, or even a life of crusading against disorganized heathens, is that you become unaccustomed to true adversity. As they faced our new, unconventional battle tactic, failing to break through our line of wagons, the enemy forces were hurled back by a fierce counterattack. We drove them to the edge of a precipice, and then over it. One image from the battle is etched into my mind. That of a fearless woman who led a defiant charge in the heat of battle. As I suspected, even after being humiliated time and again, Emperor Sigismund is still determined to quench. I would shed a tear for my homeland, but I no longer have the means. As we besieged Roby Castle, an arrow took my last good eye, ripping away my vision, for we must deal a crushing blow to Sigismund's army before he can become entrenched for the winter. The bird first out of bed is the earliest fed, as it were. Our first target is Kutna-Hora, a town famed for its silver deposits, but infamous for the local nobility's custom of hurling Hussites down mine shafts. Soon retribution shall be meted out to these fiends for their cruelty to our brethren. Sigismund is not alone, however. Riding with him is the fiery Zawisza the Black, our former comrade at Grunwald and bane of the Teutonic Order. I shall spare Zawisza for old time's sake, but any other invading scum can expect
I have you now, heretic scum! I can offer you two choices. One within the city and one outside. But they are both dead.
Our journey does not end here, brothers. Fix those Tarasnitze guns to the wagons. We are blasting our way through Sigismund's knights.
No! How does this devilish warrior continue to snatch victory from the jaws of defeat?
Ano, pane.
Hurry, my brothers! Salvation lies with our Hussite allies to the north.
Jan Zizka, we did not expect you from Kutna Hora so soon. Or so worn and battered. Can we offer you shelter and a warm fire?
A base and some supplies, rather. Now is no time for dallying. Sigismund thinks himself in control and will settle in for the winter. So we will strike him unawares and annihilate his army.
We will offer you what we can. But you must help us defend when Sigismund's knights come to kill our families.
We cannot face the entire Crusader army with this force. But Sigismund will have scattered it about the region to shelter and resupply. We will cut our enemies down, piecemeal, and rekindle confidence in our cause.
Do útoku! Bojujme! Do útoku!
Well fought, brothers! Inspired by our defeat of these Crusaders, more Hussites now flock to join our force.
Surely I hear false reports, Zawisza. Not even Żижka would mount a campaign in the dead of winter.
I have fought with him before, Emperor. His forces do not wait until summer to stir.
Co přikazuješ?
We are under attack, Jan Zizka! Send any available reinforcements!
Jak žádáš. Rozumím. Ano, pane. K vašim službám. Jak žádáš.
If the leader is righteous, so too is the journey. Lead us to victory, Jan Zizka!
Žádáš. Bojujme.
Well fought, brothers! Inspired by our defeat of these Crusaders, more Hussites now flock to join our force.
Do útoku!
Well fought, brothers! Inspired by our defeat of these Crusaders, more Hussites now flock to join our force. wretched Emperor and his crusaders have burned Kutnahora. Let us salvage what we can and leave this dismal place. Well fought, brothers! Inspired by our defeat of these crusaders, more Hussites now flock to join our force.
Your filthy peasants have shot down armored knights for the last time, Jan Zizka. Or are you Jan the fully blind now?
Well fought, brothers! Inspired by our defeat of these crusaders, more Hussites now flock to join our force. Well fought, brothers! Inspired by our defeat of these crusaders, more Hussites now flock to join our force. Well fought, brothers! Inspired by our defeat of these crusaders, more Hussites now flock to join our force.
Killing my brave crusaders will do you no good.
Rozumím.
God deals out graver vengeance than you ever could.
If the leader is righteous, so too is the journey.
Ano, pane.
Lead us to victory, Jan Zizka!
How many more Bohemian peasants will you corrupt with your zeal, Jan Zizka?
Rozumím.
How many more must my knights ride down?
Bojujme. Ano. Do zbraně.
How do you do? I fear that my Obush have a date with you.
Co přikazuješ?
Well fought, brothers! Inspired by our defeat of these crusaders, more Hussites now flock to join our force.
Ano, pane. Žádáš.
Well fought, brothers! Inspired by our defeat of these crusaders, more Hussites now flock to join our force. Well fought, brothers! Inspired by our defeat of these crusaders, more Hussites now flock to join our force.
If the leader is righteous, so too is the journey. Lead us to victory, Jan Zizka!
Vašim službám. Do zbraně. Ano. Bojujme. Do útoku.
Piercing the air is the cawing of the crow. Before long, your scarlet blood will stain the snow. If my tall fortress indeed is to fall, it will be ransom for which I soon call.
It cannot be! The Hussites have penetrated our defenses! Fight with furor lest they kill us all!
Do zbraně. Bojujme.
If the leader is righteous, so too is the journey. Lead us to victory, Jan Zizka!
Zavisha's fortress is ours, and with it, the path to Moravia. Bring these, Zavisha, and fetch us chalices full of the sacrament. Emperor Sigismund scurries back to Hungary, while his knights flail about and drown in the icy river. Is this truly conduct befitting a king? I may be blind, but my mind's eye sees all. And there are few things quite so sweet as witnessing an overconfident fool like Sigismund degenerate into a despondent wretch. His frustration is my elation. His despair, as the battle unfolded, I could all but see the determination of loyal Hussites as they fixed the Taraznitse guns to the wagons. The volleys of bolts and bullets that tore through. I could even picture Zavisha's wry grin as he mused that a blind man had taught him a crucial lesson, that with Zawisza ransomed home to Poland and Sigismund finally beaten back, I sensed that Jan Hus's dream of a war turns fine men into circling ravens and makes tyrants of us all. With Sigismund gone, I turned to smashing the few remaining pockets of royalist resistance. The Hussite dream of a Bohemia independent from the grip of foreign imperial powers was nearly achieved. When misfortune, jealous of my success on the field of battle, and lusting after the power that I have justly earned, a faction of Hussites in Prague turned from the righteous path and made a deal with the devil. My Hussites are undefeated, but it would be a fool's errand to contend with internal dissent and invasion at once. I have appealed to my former comrades in Poland and Lithuania for help, and one man and his army have answered the call. Zsigimantis, we have come far already, and our mission to bring freedom, peace, and justice to our beloved homeland will not be stopped now. With our eastern allies by our side, we shall smite them once more. We shall unify this broken land and remind Sigismund that the Hussites are no mere peasant rabble to be oppressed and trampled. If he enters Bohemia again, he will face the wrath of men. Warriors of God,
Ano?
you need not flee before your enemies. Fight boldly and fulfill your dream of an independent Bohemia.
Prague could be swayed and become a powerful ally under my command, Jan Žижka. I must only reach the cathedral to convince the people so.
Have you come to wipe us out for good, Jan Žижka? You are free to try.
Ano. Zdař vykonám to. Stavím.
Stand too far. And now we spring our trap. Rejoice, Emperor. We have Jan Žижka right where we want him.
He will get away.
Let them come. It is high time that another enemy. Charge was broken against the Wagenburg.
Prague is mine thanks to you, Jan Žижka. I will be your loyal friend in this conflict. So long as it remains beneficial to me.
Do útoku!
Is Jan Žижka your scourge, O Lord?
Do zbraně!
Come to punish us for our pride and earthly
Do
sins.
útoku! Ano! Do zbraně!
Co žádáš? Vykonám to. Stavím. 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 Stavím.
March forth, bold Praguers! Give a bloody death to Jan Žижka's enemies! Men of all walks of life, grasp your weapons, remember your love for your brothers, and have at your enemies!
You may triumph for days, months, even years, but your cause is doomed to failure in the end.
Bojujme!
reaches the walls of Bruzenia, the town will surely be lost before our knights could hope to arrive.
Sigismund has left the arrogant citizens of Pulsenia to a grim fate. Shall we be merciful like the lion to the mouse, or vicious like the eagle on Sigismund's back?
As I hear these tidings from afar, I finally realize the bitter truth. Only Bohemians can defeat Bohemians.
With the rival Hussite factions reconciled and the Royalists defeated, nothing stands in our way. We will, yet I, Jan Žижka, will not be there in earth. To everything there is a season, and a time for every purpose under heaven. And my time under the sun is nearly over. Ye who are warriors of God, hear my dying wish. After I expire, you will flay the skin from my corpse and use it when our enemies hear the ominous din of those drums and the joyous clamor of thousands of valorous Hussites. Jan Žижka still leads this army from beyond the